Alright, let's try this again. Go ahead and let me get some feedback from people in Discord. Alright, let's try this again.
I'm pretty sure this is why we need to have like
Let me get some
a
feedback.
pre-stream check.
Yeah,
People showing up
if
early.
only people would show up 5 to 10 minutes early. I could iron this stuff out beforehand.
Yep.
Alright, we good?
Okay, it worked.
We good?
I can.
Thank you. Go ahead and back on out of here and we'll keep going. Alright, so just to kind of relay what the characters have done so far, they suggested trying to find a boat out of here. So now they're currently looking at the harbor, and you guys pretty much heard the description of the harbor. They went looking for a main office. He did a roll for that investigation. Took him a while to find it. It's completely blank. The only thing that they can see are the workers in the dock that are currently doing like freight. And pick it up from there. Let's try again, guys. What do you want to do?
I would say back to the inn, rent some rooms, have some rest, and then come back tomorrow. Or maybe talk to Frederick. He said he had something set up.
Is anybody else going to chime in, or?
Sure, that sounds good.
Alright.
Okay, let's go to the inn then.
Alright, so Zareth leads everybody back towards the inn. As you're making your way towards the inn, you can see the place next to it, the Dancing Delight. It is just lit up. You can hear rousing music, you can hear uplifting noises and cheers coming from inside. But the inn, it looks pretty plain, pretty simple. Just a basic place to check in and have a place to sleep. Most of the caravans kind of unloaded their personal things and are starting to check in as well, and they just kind of notice you coming back. You guys alright? Frederick asked as he kind of noticed you coming back.
Yes, we went out to check the port for ships. There are 3 lined currently.
Well, yeah, you're not going to get a ship out till probably tomorrow morning because, you know, we got to check with the port master when he's in his office. But, hey, stick with us. We'll get you taken care of there, too. I mean...
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So, continuing on. You guys check into the inn? What's
Yes,
on
I'm
everybody's
checking
mind?
into
I'm hearing Zareth. I know you're doing stuff.
I'm
Zareth,
checking in, and I rent 6 rooms, 1 for everyone.
Alright, it's going to be 2 gold pieces for everybody.
And I hand out the key to everyone.
Leo's gonna go to bed right away, so you're getting an early start.
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
Oscar's going to go to bed too.
Anybody else?
I'm going to sit in the tap room for a while. Eavesdrop for rumors.
Alright. And
Yeah, Ford will be bedbound.
so everybody's pretty much worn out, tired, wanting to get to sleep. I'll let you make a perception check and see how good your eavesdropping does. Yeah, everybody in your crew pretty much turned in. There's nobody actually... Like, there's a small common room, and it's not even big enough to have, like, beers or anything. This place doesn't even serve alcohol. There's the innkeeper, he's down here, and there's just this little open area where you can just sit down and rest while you're waiting for your room to be set up or whatever. Or you can just sit down here and just be away from everybody. Just the old guy behind the inn, I mean, unless there's something else you want to do.
Nope, I go talk to that person then.
Alright.
Evening, sir.
Good evening. Your lot all in? Your lot make it in alright?
Yes, most of them turned in. I was curious about the latest rumors. Do you have some?
No, I don't have rumors. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, place next door is jumping with all kinds of action if you're into that thing. I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you.
What kind of building is that?
Oh, it's the place where all these outsiders come to get some enjoyment out of life, you know? It's a place of pleasure. That's where the bar is. That's where everybody goes to hang out and go watch the dancers.
Oh, well, thanks. And I'm curious, though, why does the chapel here have two cemeteries?
A lot of people die. Both out in sea and trying to get here.
That sounds harsh.
Life's harsh, friend. But, unless there's anything else you need, I mean, you got your rooms, everything's taken care of there. If you're looking for entertainment, you're gonna have to go next door.
Yes, I'll do that then for a bit. Thank you.
Alright. So,
And
yo, go ahead,
go ahead.
Sarah. It's me and you. It's just me and you for now.
okay, now I walk out and I go to Dance's Delight and see if I can catch up on some rumors in there.
Alright, so as you enter in this wooden structure, this is a place where bards play and dancers dance for the joy of the patrons. Some of them are illicit. Let's see. You see a bar that is like dead ahead of you as you walk in, and there's like these barred up cages behind him, and there's like two dancers on either side. There's an elderly looking robust man who's like managing the bar, and he's looking dead at you as you walk into his establishment. You can see several tables in the surrounding area leading up to the bar where many of the patrons are being rowdy and loud, drinking up a storm. You can see a few girls dancing in front of them on top of their tables and everything, and they're just getting all loud and all rambunctious. It's just a big old party in here. What do you want to do as you walk in?
I go to the bar and order a beer.
Alright, this old pirate looking guy, he kind of looks at you. He's like, yeah, what are you drinking?
Some beer, please.
Alright, he pours you up a beer, hands it off to you. There you go. Anything else?
Yes, I'm from out of town, and I would like to know some rumors. And I flash a coin of silver.
Oh, he looks at the silver and he's like, what kind of rumors are you looking for, kid? I mean, you just can't just go around and ask that and expect me to be like, here, you can have this. What are you wanting to know?
No, just curious. Any unusual activity from the creatures outside of town? Any major events that happened in the town?
Make a persuasion check.
I don't do that often.
No, you don't.
Where is it?
Anything, say, so you're asking like creatures or something? Like you're just asking if there's like abnormal activity with monsters in the vicinities?
In the vicinity, yes.
There's been talk of like some sea creatures while some of the boys were coming in. Big pool of giant sharks, and then just some strange noises that aren't normal, like someone calling out, but nothing, it's just a sea tail. It's nothing really big with that. But no, nothing like that, friend. Look, if you need to unwind, you're looking for some entertainment, I could hook you up with one of these girls if you want. And this beautiful blonde woman, she just kind of sits down next to you, kind of giggles and smiles in your direction.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Wait, what am
No, I took a sip of water and horrible stuff happened. I started coughing as shizzle, so.
But yeah.
So I'm fine now.
Okay. About to say, did that blonde-haired woman give you a scare? I mean.
No.
And there's several young women in this establishment. They're lightly dressed. Some are visibly, like, you can see through the silks of their dress. And a lot of the men here are just enjoying the view, unwinding with all this tension. Anything else you want to do here?
No, not really.
Alright.
Well, sir, thanks for the offer, but I'll have to decline. I have an early start tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you're
So
lost.
I wish you a good evening.
See you later. And then with that, you head back to the inn. This plain, ordinary, and the innkeeper noticed you coming back empty-handed. Didn't find anything to take your fancy, did you?
I wasn't looking for company. I was looking for information, and
Well,
I got something. Not much, but
alright, well, you and your lot have a good night.
you as well. And I turn in for the night.
Alright, so with that... Anybody doing anything special before bed?
Leo will just do his usual prayers to Illumina and then I go to sleep.
Alright. About 2 or 3 in the morning. Let me get a perception check from anybody to see if it wakes anyone up. Yeah, I guess we're all gonna stay asleep. That's fine. Almost good enough, but not quite. It's all good. As you wake up in the morning, at getting your full rest, all your magic-y stuff back, all your hit points back, half your hit die back, you notice Lindsay just kind of folding her hands left and right, and her thumb just kind of twiddling as she's sitting down quietly at the base in like the open room and everything.
Morning, Lindsay. You didn't sleep.
Yeah, you can see bags under her eyes. She was up for most of the night. And she kind of shakes her head no at you. No sleep.
Those nightmares again.
She nods.
You want to talk about it? I'm not the best person to do that, but
She just... Make a persuasion check. She shakes her head no. She doesn't feel like opening up to you about it.
well, let me know if you do need some help.
And what's everybody else doing?
I suppose let's just find Frederick so we can get out of here.
Alright, yeah, give it enough time. He comes down maybe 10 or 15 minutes behind you guys as you're all kind of gathered in this small cubbyhole area. Frederick comes down along with Azalea, Red, and their crew. The little boy, the 3 children who are being escorted out. And they're like, alright, so you guys ready to find a way back out, right? The ship that we're using to help the kids go, and he's kind of escorting you guys out to get out of earshot of anybody. He's like, we're gonna go down to the dockmaster and talk to this one guy and see if he'll get us out of here. I mean, it's guaranteed, but still, you know, gotta go through the channels, you know what I mean? Make it down to the main office, and he goes in there, talks to the shipwrights and whatnot. Before long, he comes back out and says, alright, we're going to be riding on a ship called the, what was it called? The Foxfire. Yeah, that was it. And,
Interesting name.
Yep, he takes you down the docks, and he's constantly looking at the back of these ships. And he finds this one, what are they called? Like, I guess it's like a cutter or something, or a one like a frigate above that or something to that effect. Ship names they're leaving my name, like a lute song or whatnot. But this decently well-equipped ship that's currently taking in some cargo that came with you guys. You can see this long platform coming down, and this old captain kind of staring down, and a character who I think some of you might have met at one point. He's got this long curly smile as he kind of hangs out with this captain, and he looks at these guys as they're coming up. So, these are the next ones, right, Captain? Yeah, we're going to be taking these to Tynak, and then we'll go back to Parenthia from there. Ahoy!
I'm going to try to keep my distance from him.
From the smiling character?
Yes.
Yeah. So as you do so, Acelia kind of steps out of the group and says, "Barlow, is that you?" It's no, and yeah, I remember you. So you're the ones taking us out this time? Yeah, the other guy couldn't quite make it, so I go ahead and decided I'd go ahead and make the run. Come on aboard. And she's just kind of sighs heavily. It's fine. We used to ride with him once before. And she kind of helps everybody on board. Everybody else gets on board.
I want to insight check that guy,
Which one?
the smiling person.
Oh, by all means. Well, what are you trying to discern from him? I mean, he hasn't really said anything to you yet. Are you trying to
why
see
everyone is wary why everyone is wary of him or nervous?
Oh, go ahead and make the insight check. We'll see what we can do with it.
22.
Honestly, I can't think why they would be nervous of this guy. He did nothing but good for you in the past. But this character seems shady. His smile kind of makes it hard to read. But it's like his face is permanently smiling all the time. Not like the Joker or anything like that, but he's just got this big old wide grin, like he just can't stop smiling, and he's always in this chipper, happy mood whenever he seems to speak. And he seems to be following on the captain's tail, as he just kind of works as his second hand, so to speak. As you guys all get on board and expositions are made, the captain introduces himself. I'm Captain Barlow. This is the Firefox here. We make trips from here to there. Depends upon what needs to be done, you know. And you guys, I got called over here to do this job. And I want to get you to Tyanek, Freedom City or Freedom Bay. So it's going to be a couple-day journey. There's cabins down below the deck. Pick your cabin out. Should be enough room for everybody. And then we'll just go ahead and start making our trek. Is there any questions? Any concerns?
Well, not really, but last night I heard some rumors about a school of sharks and strange noises on the sea. Do you know anything about that?
Pah, there's always strange noises on the sea. Don't worry yourself about such fairy tales. I'm sure something strange will still happen, but still, don't worry about it till it happens. How about that?
That's the only way you deal with it.
And with that, I will leave you to my first mate here. Smiley, go ahead and let him know everything that you could tell him. And the smiling character's like, yes, Captain. So, he turns to y'all and just smiles happily. Any of you need supplies or anything? I have stuff that could be sold.
No, thank you. For now, I'm good.
Let's see here. Oscar and Borden, you ran into him once before, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
It was a long time ago, back in like the sessions before we went on. He kind of looks at the two of you and he's like, wait a minute. Have I seen you two? And if you're making any attempt to hide from him, let me know, and we'll go ahead and roll that stealth check. Oscar, is that what you want to do, or do you want to just confront this?
I help Oscar
You
by
can't
moving.
help him. I mean, you can notice him being canonical about it, but at the same time, he was still
Yes, but-
noticed. And
Yeah, I
he's-
will try to shield Smiley's vision of Oscar.
That's fine. You get in between him. He's like, and he's pointing around you and then pointing towards Borden. Haven't I seen the pair of you before? Didn't we make a deal at one point? I do believe I did.
So I didn't particularly dislike him.
That's why.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
was weird,
Yeah, I don't.
but he was, not bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, if you guys need supplies or anything of that nature, I might have a few things on me. He pulls out this little chest that's in his coat pocket, and he's like, unless there's nothing you need, then by all means, we leave in an hour. If there's any shopping you want to do before we head out, you might want to get that done now. But after that, we'll be on the road for about 3 days on the ship. Well, not road, but you know what I mean. We'll be setting sail here for 3 days, so you can get yourself comfy. You might want to find you something to entertain yourself. Maybe pull up a book or something. It's gonna be a long ride.
Why do you want to sell us stuff?
Because I
What do
like
you
to
have?
make money. Well, I'm glad you asked. What don't I have is what you should be asking. He pulls out the chest. Are you sure you want to see?
Nope, I back off.
Well, I'm not talking to you. Go away. What about you, Mister?
I'll take a look. I've been here before. I kind of know the gig.
Yeah, so he takes this small little chest out of his coat pocket, and then you see him throw it to the ground, and it jumps into this giant, oversized crate of a chest. It pops open, and you can look in for a brief moment, and you can see all kinds of weapons. You see long swords, short swords, you see daggers, you see crossbows, you see halberds, you see all kinds of implements of destruction in his case. And he's kind of sorted through them. And there's like gems that are kind of like hidden away, but they kind of gleam out from outside the box and kind of shine up out at you. And he's like, I have all kinds of things. Tell me what your favorite weapon is, and I'll see if I have something that fits the bill.
I already have weapons. I'm not interested in weapons.
Oh, well, that's all I sell here. Now, like I said, though, if you want supplies, you might want to go back and see if there's anything at the general store. We're going to be gone for 3 days, but make sure your rations are full and all that good stuff. I mean, we'll try to provide what we can, but it's dangerous out here on the ocean. So maybe having a little extra protection, he keeps pointing down at the chest, would be of help to somebody, especially if you need a better weapon than what you already have. And his smile never ending as he kind of curls his eyes towards you.
I don't want the weapons, but how much for that box?
The box is my fucking chest, man. I need that. That's what I carry everything in. It's an awesome thing, right? You might be able to find something like this from the mages of the Arcana when we land. But he closes the chest, it shrinks back down, he puts it back in his coat pocket, he's like, there's nothing I can sell you, then I'm sorry, I'll go ahead and take my store elsewhere. But I figure I'd offer it to you guys since you're just now joining the ship. I always think that everybody should be prepared, but however, we don't run a charity here. So, what do you want to do now that he's finished his spiel with you? Borden, I'm sorry, did you want to ask him about something before he put that away?
I mean, he said to keep an eye out for hammers in the leg for me. I didn't know if anything actually ever came through of interest.
Oh, yeah, maybe something did. Do you want to bring it up with him? Bring it up in character and he might come back to it. But what's everybody else wanting to do? I mean...
we're going to be on the boat with the guy for a couple days, so it's not like I have to do it this second either.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking for you, Borden. Like, this doesn't have to happen now. Go ahead, Oscar.
I would like to go to the alchemical shop.
Alright, now, searching through this town, it has not a lot of amenities like that. What were you saying, Zareth? I wasn't trying to cut you off.
I go looking for a blacksmith and an armor shop to buy for a short bow and studded leather armor.
You might find an armor shop. However, there's no real weapon shop in this village. There's no one who can work a hammer here. Just a leather worker who's got like a, small leathery things. Studded leather, easy enough to come by. Let me see what the price of one of them. There's a regular studded leather armor. That's all you need, right?
Yes.
I believe we can find the price of that in the player's handbook somewhere. So I flipped through the pages. Totally been a while since I had to do
45
that.
gold.
Alright, yep. There it is. 45 gold pieces. Easily enough for 45 gold pieces. This young man who has been taking up the leather working and has armors up for sale, he offers you up this studded leather for 45 gold. Oscar,
I'll take it.
Oscar, as you're looking around, you don't find any alchemical shop. There is a general shop here if you wish to kind of go in there and see if there's anything kind of like what you're looking for, maybe.
I would go in and start looking for health potions.
Alright, go, let's see here. I made a few shops, but I did not make everything in the city. Yeah, this general shop's ran by an old lady, kind of aging, but she's got her grandchildren running around, kind of stocking the shelves and watching over everything as you walk in. And searching around, she does have like certain vials that are up there at the counter where she is kind of sitting behind, just waiting for somebody to come up.
Any are red, I'm assuming.
Let me check something. She has 5 vials that are red, that are similar to just normal, regular healing potions.
Going to go to the counter and point to those vials. How strong are those?
Oh, these are just normal healing potions. In layman's term, 2d4 plus 2, I believe, just a regular healing potion.
Okay.
But she has 5 of them, and she lets you know it's 50 gold per.
Would it be possible if I bought one and could get a partial discount for the other?
Sorry, you want to just buy one, or are you wanting to buy all?
I want to buy 2.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. So that wasn't very convincing. She'll say, if you want to buy just 2, I'll drop it down to 45 gold each.
Okay. I will pay her 90 gold and
Alright,
get
so
2 vials.
so she has 3 remaining. Is there anything else you want to look for in this general shop? Oscar, anything else?
Nothing I can think of.
As you're walking through, just make a general investigation check as you're just kind of glancing around. Anybody else want to be in the general shop as well, or no?
Yes, I would like to look for a book to read
And
on the
that's
ship.
There's a series of books actually as you're walking out, Oscar. There's like 3 books that are kind of lined up. Dang it. Oof. Voice is a little harsh today. One of them's called Red Riding. Another one's called The Lore of the Dowmaker. Or wait a minute, what's it called? Or The Dowmaker's Legacy. And another one's called General Survival on the Ocean Front.
I obviously am going to try to pick up the surviving on the ocean's front.
Alright. What do you want to get, Sarah?
Dowmaker's Legacy?
Alright. Both of these books, well, they'll each cost 2 silver each.
And I want 1 health potion.
And that'll be 50 gold for that. Any other business in town for anybody else? Or is there anything else you guys want to do in the general shop?
Not for me.
Leo's ready to go home.
Alright. Borden, anything for you?
I'm kind of interested in the ship. Not something I've come across so much.
So
You
you're
know-
just kind of hanging out with the captain and just kind of going over what's going on in the ship and whatnot? Is that what you're aiming for?
More looking it over, like
Or okay,
observing how the things seem to work.
Yeah, you look around. This ship is, out of all, like, I don't know, would Borden have known what other ships look like? Has he been on the ocean before?
I've seen a port before. I've not actually been on a boat before.
Yeah, so you can't tell, like, the quality of this ship compared to another. Like, if you were to just kind of glance at the other ships in the dock, you get the feeling that this one's more taken care of, perhaps. Like, just looking from the cleanliness and the sturdiness of the ship itself, you can kind of make out that much. But as you're just kind of going around, you can see all the woodworking, you can see all the fine-tuning of the sails being, measured and getting ready for taking off. Excuse me. Rigging's being done, and everybody's kind of getting ready to set sail. He's got a crew that's constantly wandering around this boat with no certain order to your mind, but they seem to have a certain way of doing things as they kind of go to and from.
Kind of envision it. It's like being inside of a clock. Like everything looks crazy, but it's working well.
Oh yeah, it's working really well. This crew, like, judging from the age of the captain, you can definitely say like this captain has been around for quite a while. So you're probably in good care with this guy, since he's made several trips and survived as long as he has on his own. Let's see here.
And,
Yeah,
we're gonna be on the ocean, powered by the wind. So this is kind of like hell
Yeah.
yes from Gordon.
There you go. And Lindsay's just she's moving around kind of sluggish, and she's really got this tired look to her, but she's just trying to go around with you and just kind of agreeing with, just kind of wandering around with you, as everybody else. I would say also, is Leo on the ship, or is he in town? He's just on the ship?
Leo's on the ship.
All right.
He might talk to the smiley guy again
All right. So,
eventually.
while everybody's getting things, or do you want to wait till you guys set sail?
Probably in the middle of the trip, actually.
Alright, we'll put that off for a bit. So, everybody else who's off the ship, is there anything else in town you need to do?
Not for me.
The general shop, does it also sell short bows?
No, it does not.
Okay, then no.
I will say this, that if you were there when Smiley dropped that chest, you noticed short bows inside it.
No, my back was turned to it.
Well,
Because I
then,
said I backed off and walked away.
that's what you get for being rude. At any rate, continuing on, so you guys return to the ship. And let me see here. I gave the Dowmaker Legacy Zareth has.
Yes?
Alright, there's an item in your inventory. And you can kind of read it if you want, but just kind of keep that to yourself until later on. Alright, and as everybody's getting on the ship and everything, last minute call, anything in town before we set sail? Alright, with that, the crew starts setting up to set sail. The anchors pulled up, the ship sails catch the wind, and you slowly drift out of the docking area. And apparently my throat is so parched. Excuse me. And your ship is currently making a course to Tynet Kingdom. As you're all sailing away, and everything's finally settled up on topside, the captain hands off the wheel to Smiley, and he comes down to tell everybody, alright, if you all picked your cabin, you can all kind of bunk up if you need to. There's 2 bunks to a room if needed. But there should be plenty of room for everybody. These children here might have to bunk up with somebody else or in another room. I don't know. However you want to do that, Azalea, I don't care. You're welcome here. You know how I feel about things. Just kind of gives him a nod. Very well. We'll figure it out. Thank you, Barlow. Yeah, anytime. He walks back upstairs and rejoins the crew. You're left down here with the caravan you came in with, except for Frederick and his crew, because they just basically helped you guys get here. Just Azalea, Red, and Christian are the only 3 from the caravan, plus the children that were with them. So you see Rachel, Alexander, and the other girl. The 2 girls are given a room, and Azalea will go with them. The boy, Red and Christian, will probably share a room with them, and you guys are free to have a cabin all to yourself. So,
I'm going to go to the closest room and not come out until we have left port and have gotten at least a little ways away from Citadel.
alright. Yeah,
Let's say Board will be shooting Oscar pointed looks like, don't you fucking dare,
Don't
we're
you
not clear yet.
There you go. Is there anything you guys want to do in particular to kind of settle in, have conversations with anybody? I mean, it's going to be a long trip, so feel free to fluff this up if you need to.
I would like to speak to Captain Barlow.
Alright, so you go up to the top of the deck. You see him at the wheel with Smiley nearby.
Captain, do
Hey,
you have a moment?
well, I'm kind of steering here, but go ahead, I'm listening.
I was wondering if I can use an open space on your ship for a while to practice my sword fighting.
Oh, is that all you want to do? Well, by all means,
That's
I mean,
all I want to do.
if you want to fence and shadow dance, that's fine. We don't care. Like, kind of brings me back to the old days whenever I had to ship those other morons across the ocean. No, by all means, go right ahead. He's just having an old memory that came to mind as he's talking to you about it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, just don't stab any of my crew or you'll be going overboard.
Well, that wasn't the intention, but I'll be careful.
That's all I ask. And Smiley's like, "Want a spar partner?"
Oh, sure, that's always fun.
He pulls out the chest, drops it down, he pulls out the short sword, shuts the chest, closes it up, goes back into his robe. And this short sword that he pulls out has like a pommel. And there's like a gem inserted into the pommel. And he's like, "Well then, let's get to work."
Have we left port yet?
Oh yeah, you guys are out at sea. I would say this is about...
Okay, I'm
yeah, you're
going
about...
to go up on deck and stop avoiding Smiley.
Alright, so it's about 30 minutes into the trip. You guys are definitely far enough away from Citadel to avoid any direct detection. And now you're pretty much on the open sea law. So like if there's any law to be had, it's on the ship. Or maybe some pirate lords, who knows. So, Zara, you and Smiley are just kind of going back and forth, and you know, he's pretty quick and he's parrying you pretty easily. And he's like, "Ah, you're not too bad. You almost got it." You know, he's just kind of darting in and out with you. And every now and then you can hear him
So he's
say,
toying.
"Oh, he's toying with you, yeah." But he, you know, he's just helping you spar. He's not taking it too seriously. But every now and then, let me get a perception check from you since you're in this spar with him. You can kind of hear him. No,
A natural one.
You don't get to hear anything. The clanging of the sword seems to be muffling some of the things he's saying off to the side. But other than that, you guys spent about, I don't know, how long did you want to spend doing that?
For about an hour.
About an hour, yeah. He's like, "Well, that was fun." You, He just makes small remarks towards the sword and kind of pulls out the chest, reopens it, throws it at the bottom, closes it back up, and just puts it back in his chest piece there. Well then, I hope that helps
thanks,
you out.
Smiley.
Absolutely,
Yes.
anytime. Now, if next time you need me to cut you, just let me know.
I would rather do it myself, thanks.
Alright, so he kind of just wanders off and lets you be at that point. Anybody else doing anything?
I feel like it's completely out of character. Bored to be posted up near the prow, just, you know, feeling the wind and the spray.
Yeah, it's the breeze is. Oh man, this is like a trip for you. Kazi is blessing this trip. You can feel it. This energy of wind is just kind of gusting up against the sails. Your beard waving in the wind. Your hair flying all over with this wind blowing through. It's just, you feel her presence just being here. It's starting to get a little later in the day. We're going to move up to about noon. There's meals offered to everybody. You can either eat in your cabin, you can eat up on deck, or you can, you know, just keep to yourself however you want. If there's any social interactions, please don't be shy. Come on out. Talk to whoever you want to talk to. Otherwise, you know, you might be closing off some story ties that might help you level up.
I'm going to go over to Smiley.
Alright. He's eating away at his plate and he noticed you coming. "Ah, you again. You're the one with the money. I remember you."
Yes, and I didn't know how much of me you remembered. So
Well, I didn't want to, you know, cast you out in case you had some bad hard feelings about our deal. But I can
No,
tell you're
no.
a satisfied customer, right?
Yes.
You know, I do find it odd, though, you're on the other side of the world all of a sudden.
Not by choice.
Ah, it never is. Some of that hanky-panky going on, huh? I'm talking about magic.
Can I see what you have again?
Sure, why not? And he finishes his plate off and he sets it down. He's like, alright, let's see what we got. And pulls out the chest, drops it to the floor. It expands. He opens it up. What are you looking for exactly?
You said there was a lot of gems in there. I'm going to look at those.
Oh, you needing gems for like a spellcast or something? I have a few diamonds in here. He pulls out a diamond worth about 500 gold. I'll give it to you for 6.
I'll pass on that one. What else do you have?
You know, I got rubies, gemstones. I can't sell that, I'm afraid. And he kind of pushes something off at the bottom of the chest, off to the side. And then he kind of pulls out just random gems of amethyst, ruby, sapphires.
Can I see what he pushed off to the side?
You can make a perception check.
Or okay.
Yeah, perception on this one. Sorry.
Waste of a nat 20.
And he gets a nat 1. Didn't quite make it out. Judging from it just looked like a short sword of some sort, and he just threw it under whatever.
Why did you throw that one away?
I didn't throw it away. I just said I can't get rid of that one. Sorry. But
why?
Story-wise, you know why. Something I just picked up. I don't want to give it away just yet, so I still have to figure out what it is. Besides,
okay. I'm looking for any magically imbued items.
Well, most of his weapon and armor, or weapons, I mean, there's a base element towards him. Like, I don't have anything in here that's like made for anybody. But if you're looking like for maybe a +2, there's a possibility.
I'm looking for like a fire dagger or something.
A flame dagger. Alright, I can actually let that roll with a chance. So I will. Let's see here. Flame dagger is what? Like a. Is that an uncommon? Curiosity? Let me see here. Or is it a fire dagger? Is that what it is? It's not there. I know I've seen it somewhere though. Probably in the DMG, right? So he's looking around for you at the moment while I'm also looking. While that's going on, is there anything else that anybody else wants to kind of go over real quick while I'm looking this up?
I'd probably join Oscar at Smiley and just to see if he's got any rare, very rare, legendary artifacts.
Yeah, he kind of noticed you coming over. He's like, hey, did you have anything in particular you're looking for while I'm digging through here?
Do you have a sword of sharpness?
I have
Really
swords that are
sword?
sharp. I have swords that are sharp, no doubt about that. Let me see here. Now I'm looking for this dagger. I know I got something in here. If anybody can find that faster than me.
Yeah, flame tongue.
Flame
you're
tongue's what I'm
looking for.
Yeah, okay. What does it say on rarity? Do you have that?
No, because I found it in the compendium.
Yeah, and that compendium doesn't like to tell us about their.
It's
It is
rare.
a rare.
Tongue, it's a rare.
So that I'm gonna put the DC at about 15 on a just a general roll of a D20. So we'll do that. To be fair, so 15 or higher. Now he doesn't have a flame tongue. Now your sword of sharpiness. That's not what it's called, right?
That is what it's called.
Really?
Sword of sharpness.
Tell me about this sword, so I because I don't think I've ever seen it used.
It's when you attack with this magic sword and hits, the weapon damage is maximized, and when you attack a creature and roll a 20, the target takes an extra 46 slashing damage, and then you roll another d20. And if you roll a 20 on that second d20, you lop off one of the limbs.
Alright, this sounds like something that's not in the Dungeon Master Guide, which means he probably will not have it. It sounds like
It is.
It's in the
Wait.
companion.
Hold on. No, I'm looking.
It's in the companion.
I gotta go. Oh, I didn't go far enough back. My apologies.
And it is very rare.
Oh, that's probably going to be a natural 20 in order for him to even have something like that right now.
And it can be any type of sword that deals slashing damage.
There it is, yeah. Very rare, very rare. We're going to give it a DC 19 on a roll of 1d20, so very minimum chance, but you never know. Very close. No, he doesn't have anything like what you described. He digs for a few minutes, he doesn't see it. No, don't have anything like that, I'm afraid.
Could I ask him about that sword he's pushed away and used with when fighting Zareth?
He pulls it back out, and you see a gem in the pommel and everything. He's like, well, I recently came into finding this thing here, and I really don't want to part with it yet.
I was just curious what it does.
I don't exactly know quite yet. However, I keep hearing strange voices. They're muffled, but I figure the more I use it, I might actually figure out what this thing is.
I bet Oscar could help you with that.
This is setting off warning bells to me.
That's fine. I'll figure it out in my own time. But, since I have you here, perhaps it looks like you use long swords. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, I have two at my waist.
Alright, so let me look at something real quick here, because see, we're level 6, right? Getting close to another milestone, perhaps. And we might be able to throw in a +2 version of a longsword or something. Rare, well, yeah, I would say you have 1 +2. See, what kind of hammer did you use? You use warhammers, Borden?
I use warhammers, but I'm still pretty concerned about this magic talkie weapon.
Oh, don't worry about this thing. It's fine. It's fine. Offers his smile and puts it away.
I bet Identify could identify it, but
I'm sure it could, but that takes away the fun. And I am sorry, because like, it says weapons, doesn't it? Or is it... +2 is considered rare, I'm assuming. Hell, he's got a +2 warhammer, +2 longsword, +2 short bow. What do you guys want?
I want to know if he'll let me see that one he doesn't want to sell real quick.
He's kind of got it covered up now, and he's got a bunch of weapons on top of his... I don't really want to dig that out again.
You got a bunch of weapons on top of it. So here's the thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a thing. And the last thing I want is Mr. Smiley there turning into a rampaging, homicidal maniac.
You act like that's something he's not already.
He doesn't need to be more of one.
No, make an insight
And
check.
Because that's totally something I can do amazingly.
Oh, yeah, true, you could. Probably, but...
+7 modifier and...
the +7 as well.
No,
There it
the 10 is the
he's
full
doing a
roll. I
deception.
rolled a 3.
He's doing a deception against your insight. Well, I tell you what, it's been a while since I dug through this silly book.
+2
Very rare.
weapon I'm not really interested in, but does he have a flame tongue longsword?
No, he does not. He has nothing of flame tongue, as we've already rolled for that. Alright, so
Does he have some kind of dagger of life stealing?
you guys are asking for very specific items that do stuff basically what he's got here is an array of weapons that are ranging from +1s to +2s. The only other thing that might do something special is probably that short sword, but other than that, he's kind of keeping that for himself.
Is there any scrolls in the chest?
No, he doesn't carry any scrolls with him.
Okay.
So, Smiley, do you have a magical short bow?
Oh yes, I got a +2 one right here.
And how much do you want for it?
How much you got? That was an actual
That's
question.
not
How
what
much?
I am.
And that's not what I do.
Well, I have some platinum if that's what you're interested in.
He'll turn around and say, "You got 1,500 gold worth."
No.
Shuts the chest. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't have the right stock this time, it seems.
How about potions?
I told you to go to town for that stuff. He
There
smiles
wasn't
and
very
laughs.
much there.
There's not very much anywhere. There's no alchemical person in this region. And besides, we're in the ocean. We don't technically have a alchemist lab anywhere nearby. Anybody else? Borden, did you still want to check in about a weapon before he shrinks it and puts it away?
I was trying to let everyone else get through. Is it just
Yeah,
a standard
but
+2 Warhammer?
Yeah, but as I'm thinking about it, it's like they might piss him off to the point where he just puts it away before you can get a chance to ask. So if you want to, figure it out, or ask him about it before he puts it away.
Just at a standard +2, I'll give it a miss for now.
Alright. Well then, guys, I hope you all enjoy the ride. Closes everything up, shrinks the chest, puts it back in his pocket. I got some errands to run, so unless there's anything else, my friends.
Not sure how many errands you could have on a ship. Just kind of under my breath.
Yeah,
I'm going to go to the edge of the ship and just start casting prestidigitation over the side.
just to get it out of your system. He turns to you and says, "I am the first mate here. I have many duties I have to fulfill." And he walks off. Moving along, as it is now past noon, you guys had a meal. You're casting prestidigitation off the side of the ship, just doing whatever, cleaning up the ship, adding stains, I don't know which. What are you doing exactly?
What, me?
Yeah, like, what's your
I
prestidigitation?
just did a few sparks and stuff, and now I was going to start reading.
Alright, so you're off reading about general survival on the ocean. As you get into this book, it is bland, it is dry. It's just like whoever wrote this just threw information in there hoping somebody can catch it, and it just it's not the most like eye-catching type material for you to continue to read. Very like, it has a little bit of information, but it sounds like this guy goes a long way to say something that could have been said sooner. So it's got like a lot of filler words that are just kind of distracting you from the subject.
Who's the closest person to me?
Well, you tell me where you want to be or who you want to talk to. They're all right
I'm
there.
just sitting on the deck of the ship.
So,
I know Borden's on deck. I don't know where Oscar's in relation to that.
I mean, you could
I'll
probably
just go over to Borden and give him the book. This is supposedly on oceanic survival, but I can't read it.
Well, you can read it. It's just so bland that it's.
I can, but yeah.
I'm just saying. But if you can't read, it's what you're telling. I'm sorry. So yeah,
With some concern. Is something wrong with your eyes? Do you have trouble seeing as well, or is it just reading?
No, just it's a boring book. You can have it.
Boring book. I see.
Do you want to flip through a few pages?
Yeah, I'll flip through a few pages. Just
Yeah, this
idle
bland.
curiosity.
like even with like make a well no I don't guess like with your common sense and you're reading this and it's like taking you in like a giant circle of information like you could have just stopped at like 3 paragraphs and then said all this in one is the kind of feel you're getting from this book. A lot of filler, a lot of useless words being added, but the information's there, but it's like very minimal. Like,
is this the entire way through? Like if I open up a page in the first chapter, compare it to the middle, and then to the end?
Yeah, because the way it's kind of reading, it's like it could take 3 or 4 pages just to say don't stand next to the deck without being tied down or something. You know, instead of something like that, it's like a long 3 pages of standing near to the deck is blah blah blah, and it just kind of yada yaddies and deals with all kinds of useless information, metaphors, situations that don't make any sense from a reader's perspective. Whoever wrote this just threw it together to make a book. They weren't really trying to sell it. Sarah.
Just offhandedly, I don't get anything if I read the first letter of every sentence or something stupid like that, do I?
Ooh, that would be kind of cool if it did, but no, not on this.
It's a crap shot, you know. You miss every shot.
It was good. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like maybe later, but not in this book.
How about every first word of every sentence?
Oh no, this thing is just gibberish. Like
it's a bad book, is what it is. It's just...
You know, you have that underlying hint that what if it's a thieves' can or something, and as you do it, you're like, no, this guy's just a moron. Whoever wrote this. You get the urge to throw the
author's name on the cover, right?
You don't even see an author's name. They wanted to remain.
It was so bad he didn't want to put his name.
Yeah, it was so bad he was just putting it together, or maybe it was just something that was generally put together by a bunch of people. You don't know. Or I tell you what, let's put a pin in that, and I will probably come up with an author later that you can look up. Since this is becoming an interest, and this might actually be a good plot hook too. Yeah, let's put a pin on that. So there is an author's name on there. I haven't quite came up with his name yet, but we can explore that a little further a little later. Zara, what do you want to do? As this trip continues on, you see...
So, I did some sparring.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go spend some time with Lindsay, try to learn some more of her signs so that we can communicate better.
Alright. What particular things do you want to try to ascertain? And I'll give you 3 more words. Or phrases.
Let me check my notes, what I already got.
And I need to know if you're doing anything with your book anytime soon.
I wanted to start reading that in the evening.
Alright, very well.
And I can't find it. I have signs for, not now because that was Leo, I have signs for food, drink, look, and wait. And the last time you didn't give me anything, I guess.
Well,
because it says that I worked on signs with her, but didn't learn anything new.
No, probably reinforcement for the most part. And anything you try to grasp, you kind of didn't hold on to it. But here you have time, and you might be able to absorb it. So what do you want to learn in particular? Like, what do you think would be helpful?
Indications for time, for asking for time, hour work, stuff like that. General stuff like colors and certain words for like buckets, robe.
45.
Alright, let's see here. Let me get an intelligence check from you to see what you could learn here, and then I'll see what we give you. You get the sign for red, green, blue. You get a few colors, but that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Leo, was there anything you want to do in the meantime while it starts to get closer to evening?
I'm just hanging out on deck with the fox and my horse.
Yeah, you got this fancy horse that we really didn't mention it. But you had your called steed that you had, and he's been with you, and then your little fox friend. He's probably looking pretty warm now. I assume you might want to take the direwolf pelts off him.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, so doing that, you can see part of his fur starting to grow back in. So he doesn't look totally shaven and burned off. But yeah, he jumps around happily. He does attempt to go near the edge of the ship, but then quickly skitters away in fear. So hopefully he doesn't find himself falling overboard. I mean,
if you want to kill him, go ahead. But I'm
Uh,
just hanging out
oh,
for the next
absolutely.
couple days with hanging with the horse and the fox.
All right. So with that, we got this trip continuing further. It's getting into the evening hours as supper's being offered out to everybody. Um, yeah, and so far the watches that have been out on deck, the lookout and everything, they haven't noticed anything too severe that would trouble like the seafaring that they're doing. There's been a few pools of like giant sharks that swam by the ship as it was going through, but nothing that's made any kind of threats to deter them. And on top of that, there's also been like a spotting of like blue whales coming up out of the ocean further off as you guys get further and further into the ocean line. So some beautiful sightings as sunset approaches. You can see Azalea standing kind of close to the edge of the fort part of the ship, and she's close to the deck and just kind of staring out, and she's kind of gripping the rails as if she's remembering something deeply.
I walk up to her.
She turns to notice you. Hey,
Evening, what were you looking for?
I'm not looking for anything.
Staring off in the distance
Just
like that.
I used to almost died on this ship. I fell overboard right here. And then he jumped down to save me. It's
Well,
nothing.
what happened?
It's nothing.
Okay.
Just a giant wave created by a giant creature that kind of knocked me off the ship, and if it wasn't for Danilo, I would probably been dead that day.
That must have been scary.
Can't remember much when I was in the water, but yeah, definitely scary.
So where were you going then at the time?
We were heading to Timor Kingdom.
So the same trip again, huh?
Kinda sorta. We're just going to Tynek this time. At least as far as I know. At least that's
Do you
as
make
far
those
as I
trips?
go.
Do you make those trips often?
Well, I am kind of a liaison for the mages of the Arcana. I kind of work with them to get these troubled children out of the country, so I do make these trips as often as we find those who need it.
What happens afterwards with the children? Are they taken care of?
Well, the mages have this veil called the Veil of Valor, and they have a housing where mages can come and live, especially young mages, so they can get trained. So, it's like the perfect setting for them to kind of work with their skill sets and actually not be afraid to use them. Because, Citadel it's a no. It's a big no. So I bring them
A
somewhere.
very big no.
Yeah, so I bring them somewhere where they can be safe.
So, how do you find those children actually before the clergy does it? If you don't mind me asking.
Why, the goddess Illumina, of course. She has divine magic. And, well, I say magic loosely. She has divine interventions that allow me to find these children. So it's kind of for her sake.
Well, I'm not a man of the gods, so I wouldn't know.
Well, maybe one day you'll find someone to worship. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have somebody up ahead looking down and making sure everything's right.
Perhaps.
But
Then again,
Cool.
someone that you can't see is quite hard to talk to.
yes, but you can find talking to the air could be just as much of an uplifting spirit than talking to somebody you don't really know. At any rate, it's getting late. I better go check on Christian. And
Sure.
She
Good
grips.
night.
She grips the railing one more time, just thinking, and then wanders back towards the deck as it goes down below. As it's starting to get a little bit later into the evening, what's everybody's situation before you go to bed?
I go into my bunk and I start reading that book that I bought.
Alright. So you can pretty much skim over the information I offered in that book. And-
Okay.
Yeah. So while you're reading, what's Leo doing?
I'd probably fall asleep on deck with the horse and the fox.
All right. So you got like a little fur pile going on, and you're using them for pillows and whatnot.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. What is Oscar doing?
Looking back over my notes.
And Board?
Still not entirely sure that the prow would be as good of an idea, because being cold and wet on the ocean is a bad idea.
Yeah. It's getting cold and wet outside, but the half orc has a little bit strong blood, and he's got these furs holding him warm. But what do you want to do?
I'm thinking I'd just probably mill about the deck, again, just, looking at the sails below deck, seeing all the different things stored about.
Alright.
Is there weaponry to look at?
Nah, there's really not a lot of stuff like hanging on the walls other than like sconces for light.
I meant more in the aspect of like cannons, something.
Oh yeah, you could definitely like, maybe not on the deck that you're on, but a lower deck where weaponry is dealt with might have it. If you wind up going down there, you might see a bunch of crew members just kind of tending to the artillery, making sure everything stays dry, and they kind of see you pop in there, and you're like, hey, how's it going? Not supposed to be down here though. One of the guys just kind of greets you, but he just kind of informs you politely, like, you're not supposed to be here.
That's a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, sorry about that, but, captain's orders.
Well, seeing as I can't look at the explodey bits, I'll probably just, go to my room and just look at this incredibly dull book.
Yeah.
Try to figure out, what the guy was thinking, if he was at all.
Well, while you're reading it and drifting off, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw just to see if this thing bores you to the point where you just fall asleep. You're reading through this book hard. You want to fall asleep, but at the same time, you're like, what is this guy thinking? What was his mentality? And your mind is keeping you awake trying to figure this up. So you just, the longer you read it, the more enwrapped you are in trying to figure out, why was this guy writing it like this?
Alright.
Yeah. So, did you have a chance to look at that, Sarah?
Yes.
Alright. Are you getting anything out of this book?
Questions.
And you may ask them.
Well, not just yet. I want to read it again, make sure that I caught up on everything.
Alright. So with that, night settles in. We're looking at about 10 in the evening, getting close to 11, somewhere in there. And mostly everybody is kind of trying to slip off to sleep. Where is Lindsay? That's the question. Would Lindsay bunk with somebody, or...
Apollo, perhaps.
Go ahead and refill her HP and everything. Yeah, so... I don't know, I guess they would have separate rooms, though, still, because, you know, she's a lady. Nobody's being asked to take watch, but does anybody want to take a watch on their own?
Sure, I'll take third.
Alright, anybody else? Like I said, it's not mandatory, you're not being asked. The crew's going to take care of you guys, but, you know, you're free to kind of watch over your own if you want. I need a yes or no, please.
Nope.
Alright.
I'm going to skip it tonight.
Alright. So, we'll make this a little bit difficult. So as you guys settle in, start falling asleep, night hits, it's quiet on the ship. And as the night rolls on, let's do a standard perception check on everybody to see if this possible noise wakes anybody up.
What happened to my third watch?
Third watch is a long ways away. You're not going on third watch
Okay.
right now.
Natural 1 again.
But there is somebody else I can roll for.
There's a second 12 in a row on my perceptions.
Yeah, you're doing really well here. Let's see here. Who's the most perceptive? Not Lindsay. Well, let's see. Yeah. There is one more person I can check real quick. And I know it seems like a dick move. Why don't you just tell us, DM, if they do it or not? But no, well, if you wouldn't have woken up if it happened at first, there's like different parts of this that you'll probably be forced to wake. Alright, so you guys are in a deep sleep. There's a ruckus going on. However, nobody was able to stir from their sleep. They're just really quiet. Soon there's this loud thud on everybody's door. We got somebody overboard. Come on, we need some help. Anybody? Come on, we need some help.
I rush out of my room.
Yeah, so this noise is really loud. You can hear Smiley banging on everybody's door, just tap, 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 tap. He's just running down the hallways, and he still has this giant smile on his face as you pop out of your rooms, whoever pops out. We need people on deck so we can try to save this little girl that just jumped overboard. Come on, hurry, hurry. Azalea pops out and says...
Gonna run on deck.
Yep,
Me too.
Lindsay's gonna join. Leo, what are you doing?
I probably can't stay asleep if everyone's coming to the deck, so I'll probably wake up and help out.
Yeah, the banging on the door was loud enough to wake everybody, if so. And
Well, I'm not in a room. I'm on the deck.
Oh, you're on the
already.
deck. Yeah. So you might have heard him say there's somebody overboard, so you're probably already engaged in trying to save them or figuring out where they fell overboard. Boarded, you're getting on deck?
Yeah.
Alright, so everybody kind of scrambles out to the top of the deck. And you can see, like, they're throwing these dancing lights across the ocean near the ship. The ship has come to a halt. And they're looking for this girl. She jumped off here. We tried to stop her, and she just dove right in. And Azalea turns around. She notices Tiffany, the blonde-headed girl. And she sees Alexander, and then the black-haired girl that's missing. Oh,
So
no.
Rachel's gone.
Yeah, where did Rachel go? Oh, dear Lord. And then as Azalea kind of comes out and grabs up to a railing, she kind of looks out where the lights are shining, and she's like, this ain't gonna do no good. Alright, so you guys keep looking, and then she kind of goes over to like a stairway and kneels and starts to drop into a prayer.
Rachel had personal effects, yes.
Possibly?
something she would have kept on her, something I would have seen her have with her if she slept and woke up in that
I
nightmare
would
the
say,
one night.
yeah, she has a locket, a silver locket that may or may not have like a picture inside it.
I'm going to just do a long shot here and cast Detect Magic instantly to see if I see anything in the ocean.
All right. Instantaneous cast.
Yes.
All right, so you're
Yeah, we
trying
got a
to
one
locate
action cast of locate for that locket with. So if it's
Within-
1,000 feet,
All right, so that's an interesting way. Yeah, Azalea was going to try to do some divine intervention with Illumina, but this works. You notice about 700 feet away, south and towards the left. Well, when I say south, I mean towards the back end of the ship, and then so it's kind of like northwest of where you're actually at if you go by compass rose, but going towards the back of the ship and off to the left, you can kind of see this hazy image part way down into the ocean. It's not drowning, or yeah, it looks like it's drowning. It's part way down, and you can see. No, I guess you wouldn't be able to see that, but you do see that there's a glow in that direction.
I take
I will be
an
pointing
arrow
this out to everyone.
and a
It's
rope,
over there.
All right, Sarah.
Is
throw
there-
it.
I'm
Sorry.
going to take out an arrow and my 50 feet rope, and I'm going to tie the rope to the back of my arrow,
Uh-huh.
so that if we get close enough, I can fire a shot at her so that she can grab the rope.
There's these things called life preservers you can like have that's already tied with rope. You could probably do that.
See that it's
I
700
can
feet
fire
though. That's
an arrow.
not.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna. Yeah, so here's what you're
Further
doing.
than
So what the crew's doing now that you kind of gave them a location, there's these rowboats that are kind of off to the side and they're lowering them down, cranking them down, and a couple of people are like getting in them and kind of rowing towards that direction. You can jump in there and help
So
if you
I'll,
like.
I'll be hopping in the first one with
Alright,
that
so you jump
locate,
in.
keep an
Alright.
exact direction.
All right, so you.
I jump in there as well.
All right,
I have a question.
I have answers.
So my horse, it can float 6 inches above the ground. Does that mean it can walk on water?
It can, in fact, walk on water with shoes of the Zephyr.
Damn, like, that's some messed up shit, huh? Yeah, you can walk.
All right.
on
Well,
water.
I'll hop on my horse and go running towards the girl.
All right,
And
now.
I'm going to cast Dancing Lights over where she is. That way everyone can see her easily.
All right, so basically, you would have to have Borden guide you towards that direction. Either way, because he can't tell you exactly where she is without, being in the vicinity and then being able to point exactly where. But you can definitely follow along, be on top of your horse at the same time, and try to trot out there. So you'll definitely have accessibility. So you jump in the first rowboat. What's Oscar doing?
I'm going to jump in the first rowboat too.
All right. So Oscar's there, Borden in the boat. Leo jumps off.
Yes.
His horse starts dancing across the water, and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, that's kind of cool." And he trots off. Crew members of 2 are in there with you 3 as they row you in the direction that Borden is guiding. 700 feet out, it takes them about a couple minutes to get out there, and they're trying to row as fast as they can. She is now about 100 feet below water. Let's see, 100 feet. How much? And you're dancing.
If we're right on top of her,
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Haste on myself and jump in the water and go straight down.
Interesting. Alright. So you cast haste. And your movement that would have been half because of water now gets canceled out because you hasted yourself. Am I right? Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah.
So you get 30 feet down. Use your action probably to dash to get 60. You can see her about 40 feet below you. And she seems unconscious and just floating there. Kind of surrounded.
I drop my arrow with the rope in the water.
Alright. Which will be dangling over your head about 20 or 30 feet at this point. So you...
I'm going to
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to go down further, grab her, then look back up. Do I see the arrow?
Make a perception check. And tell me about
Since it
dancing
is
light.
nighttime in the water.
Yeah, here's another thing. Dancing light still in effect, or did that go away with haste?
Yeah, it went away with haste.
So it is completely pitch black out here.
I do have dark vision though with half health, but I don't know if that. would
Yeah,
see
make
the
a
arrow.
perception check. We'll see how this goes. Because at this point, it's just a straight roll. No advantages. Probably disadvantage, to be quite honest, because it's still dark. You could vaguely make it out. But you grab her, right?
Yeah, I'm going to grab her, and then when I come back up, I'm going to pull on the arrow and wrap my arm around the rope,
Alright, so you...
and then start swimming up.
Alright. Yeah, you feel a tug on the rope, Sarah.
Okay, guy's got something. Help me pull.
So I would assume that I knew he's got her in tow since the object is moving again.
Yeah, you can definitely see it coming closer to the top. With him forced to carry her, it would be like his movement would have got reduced again. But now with you guys kind of pulling up with him grabbing the rope, you can definitely get him up out of there and then pull him up. I need a perception.
I need to make a bad fishing joke about reeling it in, but
Don't worry, I'm about to give you another opening for that, I think. Make a perception check for... I'm going to say Leo, because he's the only one who's kind of like gazing across the water. Now, the rest of you are focusing on the task. Leo, there's a giant shark nearby, and it is closing in about 30 feet away from you, which is about 30 feet away from your friends down below.
Shark!
And let me get athletic checks from the two of you. It'll be like a average, so go ahead and roll that.
oh fuck me.
No. Oscar, you feel
It's a
the
2.
rope. Yeah, the rope kind of slips, and you feel like you're starting to drop down. You're still trying to force yourself up, even though you realize the tension kind of got loosened up. So you're still trying to make it to the surface. As you're popping up, getting closer to the water to where you could pop up, you could see this giant shark coming towards you, and you can hear the burble of Leo's voice resonating, saying "Shark," as it echoes through the water. At this point, we will go ahead and roll initiative and see if we can deal with this giant shark before it gets to you. And I will get the music changed for you.
Leo, I don't think that's quite entirely necessary.
What? The
You
penguin?
penguin.
It's fun.
Come at me, bro. Alright, that's cute. Alright, so that's everybody, right? So as the sharks notice, Zareth, you're still trying to get... You can see Oscar, he's just about to break water. You could probably reach down and try to pull him up the rest of the way, however, that'll be another athletics from you. What do you want to do?
Oh.
You do know the shark is coming too, so you got to make a choice what you want to do.
I'll go and pull Oscar out of the water.
Alright, go ahead and make that strength check. Oscar, you feel this pair of hands come up from above, trying to help you up. You almost get up. You're a little bit further out of the water. You could definitely breathe now, but you can't get back in the boat. You're a little too heavy with the girl in your hands. So Zareth is kind of struggling, trying to pull both of you up.
I'm going to lift up and say, take her first.
Alright.
So-
I'll have you make a athletics check as you're helping the girl up. So if you can average him up above 10, you can probably get this done. No.
That is above 10.
That is above 10.
I said an average above 10. If you average it, it's still
10.5 is above 10.
You technicaliters, I swear. Alright, for this, I'll go ahead and allow it. The girl gets pulled up. Zareth, you have the girl. Rachel, she's not breathing. Her skin is turning pale white. But that's your action. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
I shoved the girl to Borden. He seems to be good with medicine stuff.
That sounds like an ideal. Leo, you're on top of your steed. You see this giant shark starting to peer out of the water, coming towards the rowboat.
It's on the surface of the water?
Yeah, it's within range to where if you wanted to come up by it and do a slash, you can probably do that. Because it was coming out to try to bite at Oscar.
Yeah, I'll go rushing towards it and attack it with all 3 of my attacks.
Alright, with your horse moving across this water, and you come swinging as it kind of circles around it. Go ahead and make your attacks. The first one misses. Second one hits. Third one misses. Go ahead and roll me damage. On the second one.
Uh, 13 total damage.
Just want to let you know, if you make this as cringy as Saturday morning, you will earn some very, very red tape, okay?
I'm not being cheesy, I just have
You just
pictures.
have E, man. Alright, don't worry, I'm not mad. But, yeah, so you come around, you can't get a good grab on him on the first swing, and then as you come around him the second time, like, your horse is doing all the movement, just going around in a giant circle. And your second slash manages to cut up against the right or the left side as you're coming back around, and you cut up from his fin towards his jawline. And then your third swing kind of misses, but that divine smite from the second swing ignites. There's a bright light for a moment, and he takes a total of 13 points of damage, and a little bit of blood starts to hit the water as he shakes in the water and kind of growls at you in his own way. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
Alright, Borden, you have this girl in your arms now. She is not breathing. What do you want to do? Yeah, are you muted? Or are you still thinking? Borden? Borden must be AFK at the moment. Apologies, folks.
Well, he did send you a message in Discord a while ago.
See, here's the thing. I do not hear anything on Discord, so I would not have known that. Oh no. Okay.
Still can't hear you if you're talking.
Can you try and say something? Because we're not hearing you.
No. Alright, so are you here? I just
He
read.
says in chat he is.
20 he is.
Yeah. Zamachi, you're on Discord, you're not coming through. But I just read your message. Are you going to be able to stay, or do you got to go? Well, we'll figure that out. We're going to just go ahead and do a bite attack after Leo. Leo's horse, actually. What is the AC on your horse?
11.
Because that's going to be the first thing it can reach. Your horse takes 26 piercing damage. It just snatches its jaw and just kind of bites after it. How much HP does he have?
19.
Holy smoke. And with that, your horse disappears. And you hear hit the water as the zephyr boots fall off. And now the shark is kind of facing you as you land in the water. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting on you there, Borden, as I'm trying to casually go through the... Alright, it's... Like, you're not coming over on the mic at all. Can you hear us?
He's not in Discord anymore.
Oh, okay, so he's out. So he's probably...
Probably restarting
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's trying to get that figured out. I mean, I'm going to come back to him. Oscar, was there anything you want to do on your turn before we get to Borden?
So I have 2 actions still from haste.
You sure do, yeah.
Uh,
And you notice this shark just take a bite out of Leo's horse and made it disappear, and the 4 thunk, 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 landed in the water along with Leo at the same time.
So I have a few questions to ask about Fireball.
You,
Could I summon the Fireball beside him?
It's actually a
explode it.
blast. It's a blast that comes from your origin to wherever you direct it.
But could I send it underwater? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, you can send it underwater. However, it might not be as effective.
It's probably more effective than the other stuff I have that could be used underwater.
Yeah.
How close is Leo to it?
He is within 5 feet because he was engaged immediately.
Is the radius going to be knocked off at all since it's underwater, or?
No, you'll still be able to do your max radius.
I'm going to use my action, use prestidigitation to dry her off. That way she's, help out all the little bit I can. And second action is going to be a fireball on the radius that it keeps Leo out of it barely.
Alright, that's fair. I can see that. So go ahead and roll. I have to roll a dex save, right?
Okay.
Do you want to push the shark in a certain direction with the blast, or?
I'm wanting to push it away from us and away from Leo.
Well, good news is it failed its save, so give me some damage. We did not check to see if Rachel had a pulse yet. Alright, so this fireball goes off and ignites against the body of this shark, and it kind of shivers away from you and just kind of dives back underneath the water, or in its current state it's going to start to move away from you on its own just because it got hit by this fireball. You quickly dry off the girl. Borden's over there trying to check for a pulse, make sure she's alive. She's not breathing. There's a very faint pulse, and when he gets back here we'll tell him that. Anything else for your turn, Oscar?
So the shark's leaving?
You do not know. Like, he can swim around.
It went away.
Well, it went...
Or it's...
I can't technically move it just yet.
Okay.
I'm just saying it kind of got jolted by your fireball, and it's trying to react, but it can't quite move.
I'm going to use sorcery points and have a quicken spell and blast it again.
Alright, go ahead and...
You already used direction for prestidigitation.
Yeah, but he
Yes.
can use Quicken Spell as a part of a bonus action.
Well,
He's-
he cast a
he's-
fireball as well.
He's
Yeah.
using sorcerer points.
I have haste.
Yeah, he has haste
Oh,
on too. So, yeah, there's a lot of shit going on with his character at the moment. Yeah, so go ahead and... I have to roll a DC 14, right? That's it. Ooh, that's a nice one. Ooh, that hurts. Partway. Let's see here. That'd be...
And I'll use my movement to climb back into the boat and motion them to go toward Leo.
Alright, so another blast hits the water and it ignites the air and just kind of steams the entire area as this shark takes another blow from your fireball. It quickly reels back and starts to try to swim away. It's still within range though. Zareth, what do you want to do?
I'm going to fire a arrow at it.
Alright, so go ahead and you pull out your bow
Yep.
and go ahead and make that attack. That'll hit. And I would say since you have an ally within 5 feet of it, it's a sneak attack.
Oh, bollocks. That is 2d6.
You like global one, don't you?
So that's 22 damage.
And this shark takes an arrow. Let's see, that's all you can do is shoot one arrow, right?
I have a bonus action. I can shoot another one.
I don't think you can on a bow. Now, if it was a melee attack,
Okay.
yes. Bow, no. You have to
Okay,
wait.
then.
Yeah, you have to get the...
Okay.
Nah. Sorry. But, I mean, if anybody knows otherwise, go ahead and correct me. But,
Bonus action extra attack is the weapon has to be light. Unless you have the dual wielder feat, or not dual wielder.
yeah, which means he has to be a melee weapon. Which he's using a bow,
Okay.
which is not technically a light weapon, I don't think. It's a martial weapon, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a heavy weapon, two-handed.
It's a heavy weapon,
Yeah, it's a
yes.
two-handed
A
weapon, so
short
that-
bow.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
Not-
range on top of that. Like I say, I think that only applies to like moving in with a melee weapon. So yeah, nice. I mean, doesn't hurt to ask. Now we know. So I don't think you're gonna hide here because it's kind of hard to find a spot. Plus, I don't think the shark can get directly to you. So anything else on your turn, Xerath? Is there anything like
Nope.
RP wise you want to do? You notice the girl over there. Borden's discovering that she doesn't have a pulse. Her body's cold. She's pale as can be.
Can I check if she swallowed her tongue?
You're not directly on top of her. I was just going to say, like, if you wanted to say something to Borden or anything, you'd probably do something like that.
Okay, Borden, check if she swallowed her tongue.
Alright, with that, Leo, you're in the water now. Your horse your horse disappeared. Your 4 horseshoes are floating around somewhere. Or maybe they're sinking. Ooh, better make a perception check if you want to find them.
I'm more worried about this shark that's right in front of me.
Alright, so what do you want to do?
Can I grapple the shark?
I'm going to say... It's going to be kind of hard to do. It is a giant shark, not a normal sized shark. Like, compared
I'm trying to grab it.
I believe I
Try to
can
grab
grapple
its
one
rail.
size larger than I am.
Alright, so, like, here's your token, right? Here's it.
Yep.
I believe it's 2 sizes, if not more. It's a huge beast. So medium,
Oh.
large, huge. Yeah, you can't grapple it.
Well, then I'll just
You can use. You're not
attack
that.
it.
You're not that far from the rowboat, so technically you can use your movement, which would be. You'll have to use half of your movement to swim there, unless you have some kind of swimming feat. But you can definitely swim to the rowboat and pull yourself up if you want to do that. Or you can make an attack.
No, I'd rather this shark be focused on me rather than all my friends. So I'm gonna just attack it.
Alright, these will be at
I believe since I'm
disadvantage.
in water,
Yep.
yeah.
These will be at disadvantage because you're in the water. But go ahead and make your attacks. You pull out both of your blades. That will hit. That will miss. Or wait, no, that will hit it. The third one misses, the other 2 hit. So fruity, what's wrong with you people? And you're dumping Divine Smite in it for those who are not, watching your chat there.
Yeah, so that's a total of 42 damage.
Alright, so you go slashing fest here. You miss with 1, but the 2 that you directed first get a good chunk of the shark, and it's reeling now that you've got it really hurt. It's not dead, but between you and Oscar, you've definitely dealt enough damage to kind of make him think twice if he wants to stay here or not. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
Alright, Borden. I might have to row. Let's see here. Let me check, see. Is he back in Discord yet or no? No.
Not yet.
Alright, so. Alright, so I found out Skeletti had work, so that's why he didn't show up today. But. Alright. Borden will start doing a medicine check. I can pull up his thing here to do a medicine check. Let me do that. Like, that's what I would ask him anyway. Well, he's proficient. Let's see how this goes. He starts to perform some like CPR maneuvers on her, and within a few moments, since his last turn and this turn kind of combining, she starts to spit up water. Her pulse starts to get stronger, and she comes back. She's not dead. She was nearly, drowning, and he managed to get the water out of her lungs. That will be his action, and yeah, he's gonna have to come back to play this the rest of the way, I'm afraid. But he'll go ahead and keep maintaining care over the girl, making sure she's okay. I think that's what he would want. Giant shark. Ooh. Fight or flight? Fight or flight? You know what? He's going to go down fighting. He's going to go ahead and try to take a bite at you. The shark has advantage of melee attack rolls against any creature that doesn't have all of its hit points, but you have all yours, right?
Yep, I have all my hit
So
points.
this will be a straight roll for him. 18 does not hit, I don't think.
Does not hit.
That's what I thought. So it takes a bite of your armor and it feels a chip against its tooth, and it's like, oh shit, this guy's made out of metal, and he's going to start trying to swim away from you, which will provoke an attack of opportunity. So after his attack fails, go ahead and make a swing if you wish, or if you want to let him go, that's fine too. That will hit with your disadvantage even. Total of 10 damage. You manage to get a slash as he kind of gets away from you. Ignite it once more with the Divine Smite. However, he slips out away from your blade, blood gushing in the ocean from his own wounds. And he just kind of starts swimming at 50 feet away, just getting away from you now. And that will bring it to... Yeah, so that shark just swam away from you. Oscar. The shark is now about 60 feet away from the boat, as you can clearly see it running away after all the damage that's been done.
Oh, now we need to get the guy covered with metal back into the boat, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to keep motioning for the boat to go toward Leo.
Alright.
And I'm going to use prestidigitation on an inanimate object on her clothes and make them warmer.
Alright. You still have a haste action and bonus action. What else would you like to do?
I mean, main objective right now is to get Leo back in to the boat.
Are you going to reach down and try to help him up? That
Yeah.
would be good.
I didn't know if we were close by.
Alright, so the two of you are going to try to pull Leo. Like, Leo, you're pulling on him and he's pulling on you to get you back on the boat. Let's have you both make a strength check, and this is, if it's above an average, you'll definitely be able to pull him up. If you're below, then who knows? So strength checks from Leo and Oscar. Not bad for Oscar.
Can I resist?
If you don't want to get out of the water, or you can say
Yeah.
something to him beforehand.
I gotta get my horseshoes. My horse just poofed. I gotta get my horseshoes.
I'm going to use... Hang on one second, I need to look at something.
Now I'm going to tell you this. I'll tell you what. Leo, make a perception check as you're kind of looking for these horseshoes. Yeah, you can't see them. They're nowhere near the surface anymore.
Okay, so I'm going to... Dancing Lights is magic light, not fire, right?
Right. You can send it in.
So, I'm going to use Detect Magic and look down at the horseshoes.
They are sinking ever so effortlessly down to the bottom of the seafloor.
And I'm going to cast Dancing Lights as a quickened spell and put them on the horseshoes where they follow.
What's
Attach them to
what's
each
the
of the
range of
horseshoes.
your dancing light? And I don't think you can attach it to anything.
120.
Yeah, you can sit them down about 120 feet towards it, but you can't put it on anything.
And with that, I am collapsed in the boat because I just had to give up my concentration for another concentration, and before I do that, I'm going to tell him, go get it.
And the dancing light glows down to about 120 feet. However, the horseshoes are about 20 more feet below that and slowly drifting to the bottom. Like, it's going to be an effort to go after those horseshoes, just so you know.
That's okay. I want the horseshoes.
Alright, and I want to remind you, you are in plate mail, which is going to have some effects on you if you stay in this water too long.
Well, getting down won't be a problem then.
getting back up will. So what's the situation? Oscar tried to offer you a hand. You said it. You got to get your horseshoes. He cast these lights. It says, "Go get it." Then, and that's the end of your turn, Oscar. As you kind of go lethargic, and you're just sitting there in the boat now.
Yeah.
Zareth, it is your turn. You heard this conversation. What do you want to do? The shark is about 60 feet away from you as it's starting to swim.
The shark is pulling back.
Yeah, he's swimming out because he bit on metal, and he doesn't want none of this.
Okay, then I give Leo the ring of spell saving that Oscar gave me.
Uh-huh.
And I say it has a haste charge on it. Use it.
You know, I think
It also requires attunement.
Yeah, I was going to
so that takes a short rest.
Which means he won't be able to use it.
Okay.
Yeah. Good idea, but yeah, the time on the ring needed attunement.
One moment.
Unless it says otherwise.
I'm
just going to say right now, it should be the same as spell storing in the DMG. I just flavored the name. So I'm going to double check too if that's what you're looking at. Requires attunement.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually turn to the page. It's on 192. Alright. With that, Zareth, what do you want to do? You can't offer the ring. I would say you would have known that.
I didn't attune to it as well, so I can't use haste.
Well, you had it on you this whole time you were on the boat, and you haven't been doing any heavy activity. I would say you're attuned to it, as long as you've been wearing it. You did have a long rest.
I think I said.
If you just left
I
it in
think
your
I
pocket,
said that I put it in my bag.
You idiot! No, sorry. That was supposed to be like a Ren and Stimpy type skit, but go ahead. So, alright, you don't get the benefits either because you didn't put it on. What do you want to do though? There's a runaway shark. Zareth's in the water. He wants to get them damn horseshoes. There's a light leading down to him. You have this girl that's right behind you who is just now getting suffocated and now coughing up water. And Borden's taking care of her.
There's nothing that I can do for Leo. I can't really help Broden, which is stuff make worse, so I guess I can do nothing. It's like, sorry mate, I can't help you with the horseshoes. Oh wait, I can just jump down and swim. I tied a rope to the boat and then just jump in the water.
Well, just so you know, you only have 50 feet of rope, and I'm going to stop you before you jump in. You're aware that you only have 50 feet of rope, and the distance that the lights have shined down into the deep water are further than that rope will get you. And there is still that runaway shark that you have no idea that might come back and bite somebody.
Then I just shoot the shark.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no real options, get rid of the threats. Alright, so go ahead and make that attack. That's a hit.
For
And
10
with that,
damage.
bloop. You shoot it, or how do you want to do this? As your arrow goes firing off.
I want to shoot the arrow, and it seems to like the arrow flies wide, and then the shark turns and it hits it in his gills.
Yeah, so as this shark is trying to make a sharp turn to get back to wherever it calls home, this arrow that looked like it was going to miss just lands right into projection as it turns into it, and it stabs right into the side of it, and all of a sudden you see the shark go belly up. Good job, Leo. And since currently all the threats have been eliminated, the combat round has ended, so we can deal with how you want to retrieve these.
After I wake back up, I'm just going to go ahead and start ritual casting water breathing just in case.
Alright.
So we...
I'm sorry, how long will that take? Like, I know some rituals are shorter, but I think it's still 10 generally. Yeah, so it'll still be 10 minutes before it can go off. Alright. Leo, what did you want to do?
As my free action, I'll stow my swords, and then I'll just swim on down. I assume I can go down pretty quickly because I'm in heavy
Oh yeah,
armor.
you're sinking now. Water has gotten into the upper parts of your plate and is now pushing you under. You get about 60 feet under, and you're dropping almost like a dead weight. The horseshoes are still maybe 80 or more below you. You're halfway past where the dancing lights are.
Any of you on the rowboat? Is there any more rope that I can use to tie to my rope to make it longer?
None of the.
While I'm concentrating, I'm going to kind of point at my pouch.
Okay, that's 100 feet of rope then. Does Borden have a rope?
Alright. Because I really don't like doing it, but I'll do it because it's the situation. Let me check his character real quick. I do not see rope in his inventory.
Does it state that he has a dungeoneering pack or something like that?
Nope.
Okay, then I take one of my crowbars, tie one end of the rope that, and throw that overboard so that Leo at least has something to grab onto when he gets back up.
Leo, you're diving even further. You're now at 120 feet. How long can you hold your breath?
There's rules on that. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. I can look it up here.
Constitution, I think it's will be your modifier is a minute. Something like that. Let's see here. Or, it might be in the compendium, because I do have the player's handbook here.
A creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its constitution modifier. So I can hold my breath for 3 minutes.
Alright, so 3 minutes. You're sinking. About 30 seconds pass. This is where you're at with the end of the dancing lights. The horseshoes are still continuously drifting down further. Another 30 seconds pass. You get halfway closer to the horseshoes. However, they're still drifting further. You're down to 1 minute, so 2 minutes left. You guys have noticed that he's been gone for about a minute now. As I come back. Yeah, you're in the middle of your ritual cast, which is... and
I have the lights down there, and I'm hoping that he can make it above the lights or within range of the lights before I finish.
Another 60 feet. And you can see the horseshoes, barely. And they're all separated in different directions as they've been kind of pushed away with the currents. So they're nowhere near each other now. One lands in a field of like shells. Another lands in seaweed. Another lands in more rocks. Another one just you kind of lose sight of it as it goes further away from the rest of them. You make footfall. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
I'm going to try to grab the horseshoe that landed right near me, and then continue to try to grab all the other ones. So I swing around down there.
Make a perception check for the first one. Alright, easily enough, you kind of take a couple of steps, and it's slow moving. You search through this little drift of shells, and you find some crab and some wildlife down here, and you manage to find one of the horseshoes. You move further out. You're going after a second one, which might be another 30 feet away from you. Movement is it's heavy for you. Like, it's hard to move down here with this heavy plate mail on. Go ahead and make another perception check as you close in on where you think the second horseshoe landed. Wow, keep rolling 18s. You might find them all. You grab the second one. We're at 1:45. Continuing on to the third one. It looks like it's another 30 to 40 feet away. You think it landed over in a certain direction. You start hauling over there. We're getting close to 2 minutes as you make it to the general location where you think it is. You start to perceive where it might be. Go ahead and make another. You look and look. It's not there. You're sure it's here somewhere. 15 more seconds go by. We're at 2:15. You're continuing your search. Go ahead and make another perception for the third. It's getting harder and harder to breathe. You might not be able to find it.
Alright, I'll start swimming to the surface then.
You are about 250 feet below surface. You get halfway up. You reach the 3-minute mark. You try to push yourself further, and it starts to strain you even more. So, at this point, you are currently suffocating. I need to check on something. Because being in heavy plate mail, you're not going to be able to swim up that easily. I mean, even though you're not heavy in the water, it's still like an anchor that's kind of pulling you down. Whew.
As I get to the end of the spell, can I just kind of like drop myself in the water and still keep ritual casting?
No. You will interrupt your ritual if you go in the water beforehand. Alright, I'm just looking up suffocation real quick. Because I want to make sure, like, if he's able to keep fighting and try to get out, or if he's going to take exhaustion or something beforehand, I just want to make sure I understand how that's going to work out for him. Because, to be quite honest, I didn't expect you to go after him.
I thought they would go with the horse when it pooped away, but...
No, they're material items that are in this realm, so they fall off the horse. Yeah. Suffocating, 183. There we go. One moment while we get a ruling. And I want to be making sure I got this one right, because I don't want to steal you off of any chance of getting out of this. Let's see here. Creature can hold its breath. Okay, we know that. When the creature runs out of breath, it can survive for a number of rounds equal to its constitution modifier, minimum 1 round. At the start of its turn, it drops to 0 hit points and is dying. So you get halfway up, Leo. Your last breath kind of collapses on you as you... is there anything going through your mind as the idea of darkness might be overtaking you at this moment?
Well, shit. That wasn't worth it.
No, it was not.
Does he see the rope that I threw down?
It's not going to be able to reach it still, but he can make a perception check to see if he can find it.
I mean, if I go dead, I won't be able to hold on to it, so...
Yeah, and...
But you could wrap it
It
around
might
yourself.
give you
Okay.
some hope.
Alright, now I'm going to say, this isn't all bad. Even if this happens, there's still hope, alright? However, this is your final moment in this essence of what's going on here. So what is going through Leo's head as your last breath leaves? And you look up at the dancing lights, and you're just kind of in a methodic dancing lights. How ironic. Your group was named Dancing Lights, and you're here left looking at them as your final breath leaves.
Well, shit.
And with that, there's one last bubble that reaches the surface. A solid, or a soft lull of Leo's corpse starts to fall to the bottom of the bed. 10 minutes pass. Your water breathing spell goes off.
Do I see a shadow?
You don't see anything. Leo should have been back by now.
Alright, I'm looking down in the water at the end of the cast. Do I see a shadow?
With the range of your dim lighting from the dancing lights, you will not be able to see him. Like, you wouldn't even see his shadow because he's at the bottom of the floor again.
Okay, everyone in the boat can now breathe in the water, and I'm going to jump in. And
Alright, so
Yeah.
you jump in, and your dancing light goes away. Right? Or water breathing, is it, does it have
no,
concentration?
it lasts for 24 hours.
Alright, that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, because I was thinking that in my head. That should be fine. Alright, so yeah, you're able to manipulate your dancing lights as you fall in, or anybody else going in with you.
I give my end of the rope to one of the sailors.
You could probably tie it off to a tying part that's on the boat itself.
Alright, then I just tie it off and then hand some of the rope to one of the sailors. And like when we pull on it, hoist us up.
Hi, go get your friend, hurry!
And then I jump in.
Alright, so you jump in. You both get to the bottom. And you're able to breathe, so that's not going to be a problem for you guys. And then you see this heavy plated half-orc with 2 horseshoes in one hand, staring up, and his gaze empty and dense as you assume the worst.
I check for a pulse.
You can't. He's wearing plate.
I'm going to start taking his
Unless
plate
you-
armor off. That way he's lighter to
Alright, what do
get
you...
up above surface.
Alright, so you start... It takes 10 minutes to undon plate mail, so are you going to stay down here
I
for 10
cut
minutes?
all the leather
no.
straps that I can find on his armor to get that armor off him.
So we're totally
my
getting rid of his plate mail is what I'm hearing.
Oh,
I would say cutting off all the straps and completely ruining this plate mail can get it off in 5 minutes. And I'll give you 3 minutes since you're both kind of doing it together. Is that what we want?
Sure, I signed to get working on it.
Yeah. And I will pull out my dagger and start helping.
Alright, so Leo, they're taking this off your body so they can get you back to the surface easier. The heavy plate falls to the ground. 2 horseshoes in his hand. What do you want to do with those? As you kind of move his body, they fall to the seabed.
I'll take them with me as well as his 2 weapons.
Let's see here. Okay, so you're taking.
Wait,
his Oh no, go ahead.
I give my 2 short swords to Oscar.
You don't have to give him
And
anything.
then I take
Your gear is on. You don't have to worry about it. Like if you want to pick up his swords and pick him up, I'll allow you. You don't have to go through any trouble of handing off gear to somebody else. Hold on to your own stuff, okay?
Okay, then I just pick up his swords to take with me as well as the horseshoes.
All right, and you notice there's only 2, and there should be 4.
At the moment, I don't care. I want to just get up.
All right.
Kind of the same here.
All right, so you guys, with some struggle, with some time, you guys get back to the rope. You got his corpse in your arms, like you're both grabbing onto an arm of him. He's now shedded of the plate mail, and you pull on the rope. I'm asking.
Yes, we pull on the rope.
Yeah.
All right.
Twice.
So with that, you both get a good grip, and then all of a sudden you kind of shift through the water, and they kind of pull you all out. They pull him away so that he gets on the deck, and Borden's quickly going over, checking to see if he's alive, and he's like, he's dead. And you 2 get on deck, and everybody's kind of like in a silent shock, at least from everybody that's on the boat, other than you 2. So, is there anything else you want to do here before the guys are like, we should get back to the boat? With that, they start rolling the boat.
Does any of you guys any idea why he wanted to get those horseshoes so badly?
Well, you saw how that horse was flying on water? That's a pretty awesome horseshoes, but yeah, I don't think that was worth dying over. And they start, paddling back towards the ship. Rope is lowered down to kind of grapple around this little rowboat, and this little crane kind of pulls it back into its safety place so that it can lower and lift it to the water. And everybody is lifted out and everything, and they're like, Alright, so is everybody alright? Is everybody okay? Did you save her? And Azalea's just kind of jumping through here. Rachel, are you okay? And Rachel just nods and then comes back onto the boat. And then she notices your plate mail friend out of plate and not breathing. What happened?
He drowned. He jumped in the water to get something.
That's terrible. This...
And I can't understand why.
Quickly, everybody get on the boat. Maybe I can help. Azalea tells you as Red and Barlow, Smiley, they all kind of help, like, all you guys get out of the rowboat, and some of the sailors are on the ship with you. And then she's like, all right, let's put him in the center. Put him in the center. Everybody just put him in the center. All right, let me think. I could do something about this. And as I do that, I just need to double check something. Alright, here's the situation. I need a diamond worth 500 gold pieces. Anybody.
I'm going to
Smiley rolls his
look at
eyes and
Smiley.
slowly walks away. What? What are you looking at me for?
I'm going to reach in his jacket and pull out his chest.
Ah, nope. Why should I give you my diamonds? And... Fine. Throws the chest on the ground, opens it up, pulls out a diamond. Somebody is going to pay for this. You understand?
I point at Leo.
In the chest.
Well, you left all my shit at the bottom of the ocean.
Just your plate mail.
Yeah, just your plate mail.
I also had a backpack.
They've managed to sling. They would put your swords in the backpack and then sling it up together. That was about the best they can do. I will say the backpack is fine. So with that, he's like, fine. Here. He hands the diamond off. And Azalea takes it. Alright. I need to start the ritual. This is going to take a little bit of time, and I'm going to need everybody's help. And before we get into this ritual, I would like to take a break, because, yeah, we're 2 hours in, and I was really hoping Borden was coming right back, but I think he might be gone, and I would really have loved to have had him around. So, we're going to take a break, 5 minutes, and then we're going to discuss if we're going to progress from here, or if we want to wait till we're sure that everybody's here next week. Alright? That good with everybody? I mean, I'm open to opinions here.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so we do have a chance to bring you back. However, I will let you know, Leo, that there's also a chance that the ritual might fail still. So, your life is...
I also won't be here next week. It's my birthday this week, so I'm going home and spending the entire weekend with my family.
So, you know what I will do. If the ritual is successful, we will say you're in a comatose state. Like, your body is still recovering, so you're not going to be able to move around much, and we might have to alter the role play for a little bit. Like, you guys might be in Tynak for a little while, if that's the case. But, yeah, let's take a quick break here. Bathroom break, get you a drink, whatever you need to do. As soon as I get back, we'll go ahead and discuss what we're going to do, and then take it from there, alright? So, hang out with us for a little bit longer. Everybody in chat and my players as well, if you want to enter the raffle for Black Wake, I'm giving away another free key, so go ahead and hit !raffle and you can win that key. And I shall return shortly as I'm going to use the restroom.
Yep, I'll be right back as well.
I get 5 minutes. Don't stay too long. quit talking. Everybody still here? Or anybody gone?
Hey.
Hey. Alright.
I'm semi-around.
Alright. Yeah, for this ritual though, I would really have life that much. Let me get his messages here. What's he saying? Alright, so Rachel survived with a medicine check. I'm gonna let him know. However, Leo died looking for horseshoes underwater. So,
Like,
I'm
really?
no,
They
no.
were freaking awesome horseshoes.
Yeah, they were. Look, I'm not gonna look. I'm glad you died, only because I don't know any other way to kill you. So killing yourself just made it that. No, I'm just kidding. No, but story-wise, this is good because this means one, we do a raise ritual, which is going to be hopefully special. I want Borden to be here because he might have to help Azalea to do some certain things to like make this work. And there's going to be roles that are going to need to be made by people who participate in the ritual, kind of similar to how it's done on Critical Role. Because I kind of like that aspect that even though you go through all this effort, there's still that chance that it might fail. So I'm going to kind of line that up like how I want the rule sets to work for this. Because I'm going to vary it a little bit. Make it either easier for me to get through or make it easier for you guys to kind of participate. But no, this is a good chance because I would think that if Leo, comes back to life, one, he'll have a new outlook on his friends who went down to go get him. Like all that mistrust is going to be totally washed away. Like there shouldn't be any reason why you guys can't be best of friends at this point if you come back. But at the same time, if you pass away, it's sad. Things happen, and we will deal with that as it comes, because at that point, you'll try to create a new character to rejoin the group, but you won't be in the same role that you were as your previous character. You know how that goes. But
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
I can show off some of my other role playing rather than just the mistrusting guy who likes to kill stuff.
I mean, there's a chance your orc might come back. However, there's also a chance you might need a reroll. If you're not going to be with us next week, if you survive, is there anything you want me to be like your words upon revival? Like, is there anything you would like to think that he might get out before he passes out?
Did you grab the other two horseshoes?
Really brilliant.
Yeah.
And then he'll fall unconscious in a coma.
Yeah. Did you get the other two? Sorry, mate. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so I got an...
give him out two of a horseshoe.
If any of you guys want to enter into this raffle, otherwise I'm giving another game away to Brett.
No, thank you. I'll pass.
Alright.
No, I don't care for Black White. So.
Alright. What about you there, Leo? Do you want it?
Nah, I'm good. I don't have enough time to play a bunch of different video games.
Gotcha. Well, hey guys, we'll go ahead and make this an early session because we were missing one to begin with, and then Borden had to take off, even though his internet shitted him. I'm sorry about that. And we got some interesting roleplay coming up next week, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Leo's going to be like checking in on this afterwards. Did I live? But we'll see if we can bring him back, and then we'll see if we can't get the tie-in. So with that, Brett, I'll just go ahead and close this down since it's on you, friend. I'll get you the key again, like I did before. Oh wait, where's the thingamajigger that does the thingy?
You should know how to do this by now.
I do. Hey, look who won! It's Brett! Yay! There you go, friend. Faithful followers, you're gonna get free stuff from me. Tell your friends, tell your family. But, dang, I love this story, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this is getting good for me. Like, I don't want to kill you, but when you kill yourself, it just puts a smile on my face. But no, that was good roleplay. Good roleplay. We're gonna have you.
I thought there would be enough time to get to the surface.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that. You're in plate melt. You don't know how far the seabed goes down because the light wasn't shining directly enough for you to see. You didn't decide to ask me for perception checks. Can I see the floor from here or anything like that? So you just kind of went in blind, and I was like,
Plus,
okay.
jumping in water with heavy armor is generally a very bad idea.
Yeah, you pretty much, like, I probably could have imposed, like, weight, like, you would have to make strength checks to kind of force yourself up because that heavy weight of the armor would kind of anchor you down. But I was like, if you can make it, then let's try that, you know? And with that, it was just too far. Like, even if you would have made it, no, like, the suffocation roll on the last breath, man, it just, you would still need to go about, what, maybe 30 to 60 if I was recalling correctly, and it just wasn't.
You had 20 feet to go to the rope, and the rope was 100 feet long.
Yeah, so that last 20 feet just kind of caught you. But
And
I like
It's
this.
okay.
I
It
like
happens.
This. I like this because it gives us a new introspect on how to keep going. And yeah, like I'm gonna plan a ritual for us next week, so that's gonna be fun. And
on a side note,
mhm.
this week there starts a major walking event in the town next to me, and there's like big parties in the evening.
Mhm.
And I have the intention to just show up randomly on certain days and get invited by some old acquaintances of mine.
Mhm.
So I'm not entirely sure that I will be there on Sunday because that's the big closing day.
Well, but you won't know till Sunday is what you're telling me, or maybe later.
Yes, but there will be like Sunday in the afternoon that
I'm
I
not
hear
gonna.
about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cancel because if Skeletti's here,
No.
then I can keep going. But
Yes, just keep going.
yeah, I need Skeletti and Borden. I need Borden mainly because I want the clerics to both be kind of working together. Even though Borden can't cast a raise dead yet, I don't think. But Azalea, she is definitely high enough to do it. So you're in luck there. Like I literally rolled her character sheet up this morning. I was like, I better go ahead and have her ready just in case she gets involved in something. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a thing if it happens. So yeah, I put that on
Lucky
there.
you.
I didn't think it was going to happen. I was like, I'll just give her raised dead, because that was part of one of her story hooks from way back when. But yeah, we'll pick up on this next Sunday at 12 p.m. Central. Join us Wednesday for the Tynak crew who are still stuck in a dungeon, or cavern I should say.
They're still there?
Yeah, they are still there. Like,
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, they actually found the other side of the cavern where they can get some loot to kind of help them reinforce the fight that they're about to get into. But at the same time, we had people dropping, and then we wasted more resources on a temp fight to kind of get the stream, kind of keep things going. And then we'll figure out what's going to happen next time. So that's at Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. If you missed any of the campaigns, you can check the playlist listed in the Twitch, my Twitch channel. I have those links there for you. Other than that, I guess there's nothing else to say. You guys want to say goodbye to whatever chat we have left?
Sure. Night, guys. Tonight
See ya.
was interesting.
That was interesting. And with that, guys, do you hear the calling?